Hello, Ramley and other NFL family, especially Eagles family. Today, we have another episode of MOOF, which stands for the most overly optimistic fan in the NFL. And this is a series where we're gauging each fan base optimism in the NFL. We're interviewing one fan from every NFL team to just see how optimistic they are towards the NFL season. Because if you can't be optimistic about your team this time of year, when can you be? Everybody is 0-0. My guest today is JC Sports Talk. He is an Eagles content creator, but he knows his sports. He talks about basketball, everything. Make sure you go give him a sub. The link to his channel is in the description below. He's awesome. He's going to be breaking down the Eagles schedule. Eagles are coming off of a pretty heartbreaking loss, but they've had a pretty decent offseason, made some moves, on the trade market, acquiring AJ Brown. We're going to find out what Eagles fans are optimistic about heading into this season right after this. Hello, JC. How's it going, man?
Hey, man, what? Hey, thank you for the very, very, thoughtful introduction about the Philadelphia Eagles, about myself. And I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be here. It's amazing how we met last year. I think right before the season started through some other channels. And now look at you, man. And once again, congrats on your Rams winning the Super Bowl. And I was cheering for y'all because I want to see Matthew Stafford finally, win a championship because he had suffered throughout his whole NFL career. He has suffered with the Detroit Lions, and he finally came on top. So congrats to the Rams Nation. I'm happy to be here, and let's get started.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming on. We do love to start off with just a little, get to know you. I gotta give some shout outs. We got Big Play Slay in the house. Benjamin S here. Thank you for my beard comment. I got lots of but JC, could you just tell anyone viewing, how did you become an Eagles fan? Do you have some favorite players from Eagles history? Do you own any jerseys at all?
Oh man, I became an Eagles fan like way back in the late '90s, not the early '90s, but the late '90s because I am a PK. So I was in church every Sunday morning, evening. So I missed a lot of football, a lot of Super Bowls growing up. But when I started really getting up there in age, man, I could say no a little bit, kind of like, I'm not going. I don't feel well. I started watching football. Eagles was the team. I'm from South Jersey. If anybody knows Jersey, it's split into North Jersey, South Jersey. So North Jersey is our Giants fan, and then South Jersey are Philadelphia Eagle fans. So that's how I became a lot of Eagles people around, Eagles gear. I love the colors, as you can see. I love the bird. We should be America's team. This is the Eagle. You know what I mean? Before every game, no matter what it is, baseball, football, whatever, what goes out? The Eagle, right? Yeah. America's bird. So why are we not America's team? It doesn't matter. But my favorite player of all time for the Philadelphia Eagles is Brian Dawkins. I mean, he was first during the morning. He knock your head off at 1 p.m. Like, that's how, he was able to separate his Christian life from the football life and still managed to be one of the best safeties of all time. So, I mean, I love B-Dog. Every morning I follow him on Twitter. He be posting his inspirational quote, Bible verses and stuff like that. Brian Dawkins, man, hands down, my favorite Eagle of all time. And I have about like 5 jerseys now. McNabb, McCoy, Devontae Smith. I mean, Westbrook. I mean, I have a lot of them. So I just don't wear the jersey because I'm more of a pin it up type of guy, and trophy cases, but I always rock my Eagles gear.
Okay. All right. Those are great picks. And shout out to everyone who's joining the chat. Appreciate you, Jake and Silly Fun Guy. I'm going to kind of combine 2 questions here. So obviously I've seen Eagles fans on Twitter and YouTube. There's a lot of optimism in this fan base. Before we get into the prediction, what are your thoughts on the Eagles draft pick? Are there any that you really, really liked? And then also, what are your thoughts on Jalen Hurts, your quarterback? Are you excited about him? I feel like there is a bit of division in the Eagles fandom on Jalen Hurts. I'm sure you experienced that as an Eagles YouTuber.
So let me start from the second question on Jalen Hurts. Yes, the Philly fans are split when it comes down to Jalen Hurts. And I really feel like it's for two reasons. One, the management. The management was always rumored to always be looking at other quarterbacks,
Yeah.
like constantly. Philadelphia, Deshaun Watson, Philadelphia, Baker Mayfield. It didn't matter what quarterback was on the market. Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers always rumored, Philadelphia, Philadelphia, Philadelphia. So once those rumors don't get shut down, it's hard for a fan base to say, okay, we are 100% behind this guy. How could you say that when your own, a management don't even believe in the guy because you're trying to replace him with? But I have 110% faith in Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to lie. This is his final year. This is a prove-it year for him. The Philadelphia Eagles, had a great draft. Like we basically drafted AJ Brown. Like we drafted AJ Brown with the number 18th pick. No wide receiver coming out in the draft this past season is better than AJ Brown. Yeah. So we got us a Pro Bowl, young 25-year-old Pro Bowler, proven because he was with the Titans, the only wide receiver there. So he knows how to come to a run-heavy offense, which is what the Philadelphia Eagles is going to be. But at the same time, he still could get his numbers because we do have a good surrounding system around him with Devontae Smith, with Goddard, with Hurts legs, with Miles Sanders. I mean, with the second year in the new in the same system for Jalen Hurts. So I really believe that the Philadelphia Eagle fans should be optimistic, very optimistic. But this upcoming season, love the draft, I love the offseason move. Hassan Reddick pickup, big signing, like a double-digit sack guy. So let's see if he could bring that same intensity to the Philadelphia Eagles on top of drafting Jordan Davis, a big threat, double team required, in the middle of that defensive line, a fast linebacker and Nakobe Dean, the steal of the draft in the third round to get the Buckets Award winner on your team. Great leader, great speed. Like this offseason could not went any better for the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts.
Okay, wow. I see the optimism just oozing out of you, JC, and I'm excited to get to your predictions. So we're going to get to it. Everyone in the chat, I appreciate your questions, and we will try and get to them at the end of the predictions. But let's get into this. And if you're watching live, thank you so much for tuning in with us, or on the replay. Appreciate you as well. If you are watching live, feel free to predict along with JC in the chat. So when we say the game, put a W in the chat if you think the Eagles are going to win. Put an L in the chat if you think they're going to lose. And for those people and you know who you are, every episode, you always have to do this. If you think they're going to tie, you can put a T in the chat. But everyone knows I don't like ties in the NFL. I think there's a million better ways to decide the game. Anyway, that's a different subject. The Eagles start week 1 traveling on the road to Detroit to take on the Lions, who also have a little bit of offseason hype following them. Win or lose in Detroit week 1. Could you see this being a bit of an upset?
I think this is not going to be an upset because it is the first game of the season. And I feel like you had this whole offseason, whole training camp preparing for one team. Like you didn't have a whole week. You had a whole offseason. You knew who you was going to play week 1. And I feel like that we could control, within the trenches, both offense and defensive line, run the ball like we did last year. We was one of the few teams that blew out the Detroit Lions. They had a lot of close games, a lot of, heartbreaking games, and they upset a few teams like the Cardinals towards the end of the season. So I feel like we've been, we know how to play them. And I feel like our team got that much better that we should be able to win this game. Is it going to be easy? I don't know. I'm not going to predict no easy win because this is the NFL. There's no easy wins any given
Week 1 is
Sunday.
always tough.
Week 1 is tough because you don't see the offense. Like like there's no tape. Like you could go back to last year's tape if you want, but the teams is different. Maybe the coachings, saw something all season. They decided to change. So I said that the Philadelphia Eagles come out on top.
Okay. So that's a win to start off the year. And shout out a hip hip lady. And we also got Toon Link Maine coming in. Appreciate y'all. And AK Eagles podcast. Ooh, lots of Eagles fans coming in. That's great. So then week 2, you have your home opener. Ooh, and a Monday night prime time home opener. A matchup with the Minnesota Vikings. That's a talented team. This could be a good game. Win or lose with the Skull coming to town.
I know hip lady is in here. That's her team, the Minnesota Vikings, and she know how I feel about the Vikings. But I'm telling you right now, the Philadelphia Eagle home on opener Monday night under the bright lights. I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles will come out on top. And that one, I could say, is going to be a close game. The Vikings are a very good team, a very well-coached team, but they also are coming in with a new head coach with some question marks that we probably never seen. But it is our home opener. Unlike last year against the 49ers, at our home opener, we will try to establish a run and try to see what the Vikings are about. But we stop Justin Jefferson, we will be good. And I think Big Play Slay, he will do fine against Justin Jefferson. I feel like we win this game.
Okay. All right. So that's 2-0 for the Eagles. And shout out Man Down Sports. Good to see you in here as well. And okay, I do see a couple of L's. Granddad just predicting an L there. And, so that's okay. That's so 2-0, and then you travel to Washington for your first divisional matchup of the year. Win or lose in Washington, week 3.
I will be at that game. I live 30 minutes away from the stadium. I am in Maryland, so the Washington football team do play in Maryland. So I will be there for Carson Wentz's first game against his old team. And I feel like nobody's at the Philadelphia Eagles should come out and win this game against the Washington football team. Last year, they had us down a little bit. They did get better all across the board. I feel like that we should be able to take advantage of a hyped up Carson Wentz, holding the ball too long, going after him, because we know what Carson Wentz is. He's gonna try to make those big hero plays. I feel like that we should take advantage of that with our aggressive defensive line, get after him, sack him a few times, and come out with the win, 3-0.
Okay, 3, and that's going to be a fun storyline with the Wentz connection there. I look forward to that game. That's cool. Then week 4, you welcome in the Jacksonville Jaguars to Philly. Any concern of an upset game here?
Come on, man. That's Dougie P, man. That's Dougie P. That's our only winning Super Bowl head coach coming back to Philadelphia. He felt like he was done wrong, to win a Super Bowl, to have a statue out there. But it's not Andy Reid. We can't beat Andy Reid, but we will beat Dougie P. Put it down. The Eagles are beating the Jacksonville Jaguars because our team is that much better than them. Yes, they have, Trevor Lawrence. Yes, they had a great offseason, by the way, with the wide receivers that they signed, running back and stuff like that. But I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles are a better team and should be able to win this game. Once again, it's not going to be easy. Dougie P is going to try to come to the link and, leave out of there with the win. But he's not Andy Reid. He's Dougie P.
Okay. And I will say that Grandizer here is given an L against the Commanders, but also an L versus the Jags.
Hey, Grandizer got us, 1-3 at this point right now?
Yeah. But okay, so you're 4-0. You've just had 2, emotional roller coaster games as the Eagles fans will be experiencing, no doubt. And yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, that Dougie P. Oh man, that's gonna be an interesting. You know what? I feel like that storyline is gonna get way more hype than it deserves. But
and don't be surprised if Nick Foles end up on the Jags as a backup quarterback too. So now you got Nick Foles and Dougie P might be coming to Philly. Both got statue in the stadium. So that will be a wild situation, a wild scenario if Nick Foles go to the Jags.
That's like going to your ex's wedding and like being in the wedding party for it. Like, oh man. Okay. Well, week 5, the Ramley is going to be cheering on the Eagles this week because you travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Win or lose against the newly paid Kyler Murray and his Arizona Cardinals.
I actually think this is where we get our first loss.
Okay.
Yes, the Cardinals will be without DeAndre Hopkins, but they still have Zach Ertz, Hollywood Brown. They still got Connor. They still got their newly signed quarterback and Kyler Murray. And it's hard to beat the Cards, at the Cards. So I feel like, coming off at we're 4-0 right now, or 5-0, like 4-0.
4-0, yeah.
Yeah, we're 4-0 right now. A good win against our old coach, the week before. I feel like this is where the Philadelphia Eagles trip up and slip and lose this game right here at the Cardinals.
Okay. So that's 4-1. First loss on the year, and then Grandizer are predicting another loss here. He is not high on the Eagles early in the year. I'm curious about that. Toon Link Main does think that you get the W because they don't have Hopkins, which is a fair take.
Yeah.
And then I know it's a week you're excited for, week 6, the first matchup. You welcome in the division rival Dallas Cowboys. And I feel like whenever it's Dallas and Philly, all the Eagles and Cowboys content creators you pump out like an extra 5 videos that week. Like,
yeah. Look, it's a different week. It's a different week, a Dallas week. I know these Cowboys, content creators and fans, like, oh my God, Eagles is not our rivalry. But it is what it is. It doesn't matter if we rivalries or not. We're in the same division and we hate your guts. So that's enough for me to be excited about. And last year, they embarrassed us. One was on Monday Night Football, but the second one was against our practice squad. But still, you know what I mean? They swept the whole division. They have lost some key pieces in Cooper. Randy Gregory coming off the edge. Dak Prescott does not have the triplets no more like he did last year with Gallup and CeeDee Lamb and Cooper. Now he's going to have to rely on CeeDee Lamb and, hope that Zeke and Powell could run the ball. But they have some question marks. Their defense is going to be good, but I feel like overall as a team, the Philadelphia Eagles is better this year to go against the Dallas Cowboys at home. We coming for that. We are going to win that game.
Okay. All right. Well, that's 5-1 on the year, and shout out CG Ruthless Sports. Good to see you. And then we got a couple of predictions. I'm looking for Grandizer. Okay, he does think the Eagles are going to beat Dallas. He said that they lost to the.
See, that's the thing too. Like the week before, coming off a loss to the Cardinals. I mean, now it's at home, prime time against a divisional rival, losing back-to-back games this season. I don't really see the Eagles losing back-to-back games this season, so this will be extra motivation against the Cowboys.
Okay. Well, that does bring us to week 7, which is the Eagles bye week.
That's a win. We win.
You win on the bye. Yeah, always win. But it also means it's time for
bye week hot takes. The hottest takes on the bye week.
Yes, it is time for bye week hot takes, the part of the show where we take a little break from predicting games and we talk about some hot takes about the team that we're talking about. And once again, Eagles fans make this really easy because a lot of fans talk trash about the Eagles and a lot of Eagles fans talk trash back to other fans. So I scour the internet and find some hot takes, and then I kind of repurpose them for this segment. So the Oh, and just so everyone watching knows, JC has not seen these. He's reacting raw to them. He's going to give his thoughts. Does the hot take have some weight to it? Does he think that's just a terrible take? And we're excited to see him react to this, and you're welcome to react in the chat as well. So the first one, pretty straightforward. There's a lot of chat about this receiver that you traded for, AJ Brown. So of all the wide receiver trades / signings this offseason, AJ Brown was the best.
I love it. Like I said, we drafted him, in the first round with the 18th pick, and there's no wide receiver coming out this draft was better than him. Perfect. I love it.
But even like compared to like the Tyreek Hill trade or like an Antonio or the Hollywood Brown trade, how do you compare it to some of these other receiver moves that happened in the offseason?
Well, I feel like that AJ Brown is going to a team where he is best friends with the quarterback. Yeah. Since college, Jalen Hurts tried to recruit him to Alabama. Matter of fact, and he went, somewhere else. But they've been practicing since college days, every offseason. And now he got his best friend. He knows Jalen Hurts. He knows his strength. He knows his weaknesses. They hang out all the time. They talk all the time. So they have that bond. So without a doubt, the Tyreek Hill situation, we don't know, how that's going to go, how much of a bond him and Tua have, and, all these other wide receivers. I love this because this was the Philadelphia move that needed to be made, and it was the perfect move. And just to get him for a first, which we had 2 first rounds anyway, so we gave up a first for him and a 3rd round pick, and we signed him for a long-term contract. I mean, look, we are set up for success for the next 3 to 4 years with him.
Okay. All right. Well, I am excited. As a football fan, I'm excited to see AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts and see how that connection does for the Eagles next season. The hot take number 2, and again, I'm me, I like to keep it lighthearted, but there was just so much chatter about this one. I do have to bring it up, and I want to hear your thoughts. The embarrassing playoff loss to the Bucs is proof the Eagles overachieved last year and did not belong in the playoffs. What are your thoughts when you see that statement?
When I see this statement, is the way the Philadelphia Eagles are as a team. There's no quit in this team. We was one of 2 or 3 teams in NFL history to ever start 2-5 and make the playoffs. Yeah. Regardless, you beat who's on your schedule, you play who's on your schedule. Yes, they're saying that we beat a lot of non-playoff team like the Giants and the Washington Lions. It doesn't matter. You play who's on your schedule, and it's up to that other team to beat you before you beat them. So I feel like going into the playoff is the best thing for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I love the fact that Jalen Hurts, as a young quarterback, got to experience this embarrassing loss. Nick Sirianni got outcoached, clearly got outcoached. And I'm glad that the fact that Devontae Smith was mad at Jalen Hurts not throwing the ball to him. Everything came out. This was last year, experience to get that playoff experience under your belt. Now they know, going into the playoff this year, let's just say that everything goes well, we make the playoffs. Now they know how it feels to go against a big time, team in the playoffs, like a Tom Brady, So there's no shame in losing to a Tom Brady team, especially when you're going against the GOAT, especially when that team that previous year coming off a Super Bowl win. So I was okay with it. I was just happy that we fought to the very end, and the Eagle fans was happy that it paid off. A lot of Eagle fans wasn't really mad, that we lost. It's just how poorly the team came out and looked, unprepared. Like you didn't know that you was going to play Tom Brady. Like you didn't know that you was in a playoff. So,
Well, and for a game like that, in a playoff situation like that, that's not just coaching, that's players, coach, that's everybody, right?
Yeah.
And so it sounds like you have the right attitude of, it sucked, but you move on from it. You hope your young players learn from it and build up a little bit of grit, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Final hot take, and I feel like this isn't too much of a hot take for me, but until I actually saw some debates around this particular subject, and I'll give a bit of context after I read it. Jalen Hurts will have over 1,000 yards rushing at the quarterback position in 2022. I think he had close to it. Like I think he had like 800 or something last year.
Like 916, whatever it was. Yeah. So it was close.
Like, I don't think this is a stretch, but what amazed me is there's some really maybe it's like old school Eagles fans, I don't know, that are very passionate of like, we don't want him to run the ball. We want him to develop as a passer. We would rather see, 4,000, passing yards and, just run as needed. We don't need to see the 80-yard, scramble or whatever. But what are your thoughts on this? And do you think he's going to accomplish this?
I do not think he's going to rush for over 1,000 yards or close to 1,000 yards. I really feel like that the most he probably would rush for is about 600 something yards, because we did go out in the offseason and gave him A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith in his second year. Dallas Goedert, a top 5 tight end. You got Miles Sanders. Now we established your running game. So now Hurts don't have to be the running back. He could just hand it off. But it's always good. I tell Eagle fans this. Jalen Hurts is a football player. He's not a quarterback. He's a football player. He'll make plays when needed. He don't want to run, but if the play is not there, he's going to run. He's not going to sit back there and take the hit. He's going to try to make something happen. So, yes, we all want to see him improve as a passer. And that's the reason why, that I'm not saying Eagles got a Super Bowl team, winning team. We could win a Super Bowl this year, because I want to see if Jalen Hurts improve from this past offseason where he was inaccurate or he was late with throws. He did not throw wide receivers open. So I want to see if he's just going to read his first route, second read, third read, and then take off and run if it's not there, compared to one read and go. I want to see if he's going to look to his left, because a lot of people said that he was a one-sided field type of quarterback. Look to the right, and that's, he kind of left the left side abandoned. I want to see these things. Did he improve this offseason? So I feel like the most he might rush for is about 640 yards. Pass for about 3,600 yards, because we do have a dynamic team, good running backs by committee. So this year is not going to be all on Jalen Hurts' legs, but it's probably going to be a 55-45 split, 55% throws and 45% run, just to keep the team overall balanced.
Cool. Okay. I really appreciate hearing your perspective. I think you brought a lot of clarity to this Jalen Hurts debate, and it is fun to watch Eagles fans talk about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, it is.
Well, this has been
Bye Week Hot Takes. The hottest takes on the bye week.
Yes, that was bye week hot takes. And before the bye week, JC had the Eagles going 5-1 on the year. And I think Eagles fans would be really soaring high if that's your record coming out of the bye week. But in the bye week, you have a home game in week 8. And you welcome in the Pittsburgh Steelers to Philly. Win or lose?
Whew. Look, under Andy Reid, the Philadelphia Eagles was almost unbeatable after the bye week. 7-0, 11-0, it doesn't matter. But I feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers, with their quarterback situation, we don't know. I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles could win this game coming out the bye week, have 2 weeks to prepare for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their quarterback, either Mason Rudolph or the draft, the young quarterback that they drafted. This is the Eagles' game to win. To start the second half off strong with a 1-0 record against the Pittsburgh Steelers, against the in-state rivalry.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, very cool. Okay, so 6-1 on the year, and I see Grandizer's. He is predicting a win there.
All
And I do see he did ask me this fourth hot take. Does JC Sports Talk or can he do the Fly Eagles fly dance?
Oh man, he's been trying to get me to do that all last year because
Yeah.
Bergen 31. Shout out to Bergen 31. He always does his fly eagle fly, but we all have our different eagle
Yeah.
things. I say go birds all the time. You know, I mean, some people do the fly eagle fly, but at the end of the day, look, I'm gonna fly eagle fly all day. I may not show it on camera, Grandizer, but believe it, I do it in the shower.
Hey, no shame in the shower. No shame. Well, you're 6-1, and then you got a short week here, and your week 9 matchup is against the Houston Texans. You are traveling to Houston. I feel like this might be the Texans' only primetime game of the year, but it's a Thursday night matchup in Houston. Uh, any concerns about this game with kind of the current state of the Texans?
I feel like this is a trap game. This is a perfect trap game for the Philadelphia Eagles. But we have a quarterback in Jalen Hurts, and I feel like that this year that they are on a mission, not only for themselves. Hurts is on a mission to win more games. Nick Sirianni is on a mission. He gave up play calling, by the way. So I mean, all this team bonding thing. I feel like short week or not, going to Houston. Not taking any team for granted this year, I feel like that's a win for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. So that's 7-1 on the year. Hey, DK Metcalf, good to see you in the chat as always. TuneLink is predicting a win versus the Texan, along with Grandizer as well. Okay, Grandizer starting to give the Eagles some wins in there.
See? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So then you get a Monday night football primetime matchup against your divisional rival, the Washington Commanders, and you beat them once. You're predicting to beat them once in the year early on. This time you're at home. Are you going to split with them, or are you going to complete the sweep?
Look, I'll be at that game again. Like all the games I'm going to this year are divisional games.
That's exciting.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to 2 Washington games because I live close by, and the Giants game. But Carson Wentz coming back to the link under the bright lights. I think this is going to be an embarrassing loss for the Washington football team. I feel like that our team is going to rise up. The fans is going to get on Carson Wentz. He's going to feel flustered, and Eagles win that game.
Okay. So you're predicting the sweep, and so does TuneLink Maine and Grandizer giving another W there. Okay, so Eagle. So okay, seriously, 8-1 to start. Eagles fans will be over the moon. They'll love going into work. They'll be the best employees. Everything's good. They're going to be actively involved in their churches and social centers. Life is good as an Eagles fan at 8-1, and then you travel to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Win or lose in Indy?
I think that's a loss. I think coming off a big divisional win, like you said, 8-1, I believe you said, right? Going into the Colts with a Matt Ryan team, with a Jonathan Taylor, the number 1 rushing running back from last year. I mean, they have a good wide receiver core, solid a wide receiver core, great offensive line, and a good quarterback. Last year, the only reason why they were a little bit like they didn't make the playoffs was Carson Wentz with a couple bad turnovers, a couple bad losses. I feel like we lose against the Colts.
Okay. Well, that's no shame losing to a good team. That's 8-2 on your prediction. I do see TuneLink is agreeing with you. Grandizer, he is giving a win to the Eagles again.
Trap game for Andy.
For Indy. So 8-2 on the year, and then you're home and you welcome in the Green Bay Packers in another primetime game, Sunday Night Football. It's your last primetime game of the year. Win or lose against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers?
I think this is our first back-to-back loss of the season.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers, yes, we went up to Green Bay a couple years ago and beat them at Green Bay. But I mean, this is Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he lost Devontae Adams, but he makes wide receivers good. So he did get that Christian guy out of college.
Yeah.
He got some good pieces around. He still got a good running game, and Aaron Jones and Dylan. The two-headed monsters back there. So I believe this is a loss for the Eagles.
Okay. That's 8-3, and Toon Link is agreeing with you. And here it is. Every episode, he always predicts at least one. He is predicting his tie versus the Green Bay Packers.
Tied, huh?
Yeah. Granddad's.
I take it. Look, I take a tie over a loss any day, because that one tie might get you in the playoffs.
It's true. Oh, that's funny. So then you are home again, and you welcome in the Tennessee Titans. Win or lose, A.J. Brown, the revenge game, maybe? Is that what we call it, I guess?
Absolutely. Revenge game. The Tennessee Titan fans has been so nasty to him since he left Tennessee. So I feel like he's going to take this game personally. Maybe Jalen Hurts might give him extra balls thrown his way. I feel like that overall as the team, the Philadelphia Eagles team is better than the Tennessee Titans. Yes, they lost to A.J. Brown, but also Julio Jones is not there also. So now you got to rely on a rookie a wide receiver that nobody is really going to be scared about. They're going to try to play the box, 11 in the box. King Henry, he's still one of the best running back, the top 2 running back in the league. So we shut down that running game. I mean, look, this game might get away from the Tennessee Titans real fast, and Philadelphia Eagles should win that game.
Okay, all right. That takes you to 9-3 on your prediction, and you see Toon Link predicting a W, and Granddad's giving an L again. Granddad's our moderator extraordinaire. So then you got a 3-game road skid coming up, and not many teams have 3 road games in a row, but it looks like the Eagles are one of them. You're traveling to New York to face the Giants for the first time of the year, really late in the season, week 14, win or lose in MetLife.
I believe that we beat the Giants. The Giants, look, they are a building team. I mean, I'm not going to lie about that. Yes, it scared me because it's a divisional opponent. And when it comes to divisional games, you have to throw the records out the window. I'm 13-0, 0-9. Hey, it doesn't matter. Throw it out the window. They could have beat us 2 times. No, 1 time. 2 times a year before that, but we end up splitting. But at the same time, look, the Eagles mean business. We are home away from home. We have more miracles in that MetLife Stadium, than the Giants have wins. You know what I mean? So that's how much miracles we have in that stadium. So why not go down there, East Rutherford, New Jersey, and beat the Giants, and start this road game, this 3 road game stretch hot.
Okay. All right. Well, that takes you to double-digit wins. You're 10-3 on your prediction, and both Granddads and Toon Link are predicting a W there as well. Then you are traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears in Week 15. Win or lose December game in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, we beat them in January game in the playoffs. So, I mean, we could go to Chicago and beat them. They're not the same team from a couple years ago that we faced. There's no Khalil Mack. There's no Allen Robinson. I mean, now you got a young Justin Fields that you're throwing back there. Who's he going to throw it to? I don't know who their receivers are. Mooney, I think he's still there.
And Mooney's still there.
Yeah, like the tight end, Chet, whatever. But, I mean, our team is better than that team, so we should be able to win that game.
Okay. Well, that's 11 wins, and I don't see anyone disagreeing in the chat for you. Then to complete your final road game of the year, complete the road trip, You are traveling in Week 16 to Dallas to take on the Cowboys, win or lose in Jerry World.
That is a loss. We beat them. We revenged, our game in Philly. But going into Dallas, even though a lot of teams don't have problems beating Dallas at Dallas, there's no home field advantage. But since we beat them early in the season, they're going to want a revenge game. So they're going to try to prove that they are the better team, that the first win was a fluke. So I think that they come out and win this game.
Okay, so you're predicting a split with the Cowboys, yes. And looks like Toon Link, he agrees with you, but he thinks reverse of he thinks that the Eagles are going to win here. And then Grandizer is also predicting an L there as well. So then, final 2 games of the year are home games. Week 17, you welcome in the New Orleans Saints. You're 11-4 on the year right now. Win or lose, Week 17.
Man, this one is tough because we own the Saints. The past couple of years we played them, we both years they had the number 1 rushing defense, and some top 4 defense, and we still managed to find a way to beat them. They can't stop Jalen Hurts, but I feel like this year it's going to be different. Michael Thompson, Thomas, he might be coming back. Kamara will be off his suspension by then. Their only question is they did lose a couple key pieces in the secondary with Marcus Williams. I believe their safety, and Malcolm Jenkins retired. So, but they're still the Saints. It's still going to be a tough team. I think that they surprise a lot of people and beat the Philadelphia Eagles, even though we want the Saints to lose because we got the number 1 pick now. We got the first round pick, so we want them to lose. But I think that enough is enough. They're too good of a team that they probably squeeze this one out the last second.
Okay. So you're 11-5, and we got to give a shout out here. Our resident Packers fan, Ben Saban. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Ben! We're glad you tuned into our show.
To you,
we hope you are having a great day, and thanks so much for making us part of your day, man. Final week of the year. So you're at 11-5 right now, finishing off with a divisional game. Are you able to sweep the Giants? You're at home, win or lose Week 18.
I feel like if this is for playoff seeding, then we will play our starters and win the game. But if it's not for playoff seeding, like the Eagles did last year, they rested a lot of their starters getting ready for the playoffs because now it's only 1 team that get a bye. So if we rest our guys, then I think that we lose. But if we play our starters, we win the game. So I'm going with playoff seeding over here. We win. We win.
Okay. All right. Well, that is a 12-5 prediction for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Eagles fans would be pretty stoked if that was your record next year heading into the playoffs, and especially coming off of that loss last year, and here you are. You've put a season that looks to be a lot more dominant for sure.
You figured that last year we went 9-8. With the Eagles not running the ball the first 6-7 games.
Yeah.
We became the number 1 rushing team from week 7 on to the last week of the season, averaging over almost 200 yards a game rushing. So if you're telling me that we're going to start off doing the same thing, at least to try to get team off balance, just start off the run. Now you got A.J. Brown with his second-year quarterback and Jalen Hurts with something to prove. The Philadelphia Eagles fans should be excited about this season. Now, the 12-5, anything could happen, but easily 10-7, 11-6 range is possible also. You're going to lose to some teams that you're not supposed to lose to, and you're going to beat some teams. You're like, wow, we could beat this team. What's next? So it's like plus or minus 2. All right, let's go put it that way. A plus or minus 2. The 12-5 could easily be 10-7, or we could have a 14-3 season. I don't know, but I'm just going off the prediction, just based off, who's on whose team, because injuries matter. A lot of things could happen.
Okay, very cool. And I do see Grandize. So Toon Lake Maine is predicting a 10-7 record for the Eagles, and Grandizer's a 10-6-1. And I love how Grandizer is so like thorough as a moderator. The Vegas odds are over 8.5.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I take it.
A couple more questions here is I'm sorry if I missed this, Grandizer, at the beginning of the episode that we normally talk about. Are there any draft picks that you really love that the Eagles did this year? I know you love the trade for Brown, but and you mentioned your later round third round pick.
Kobe Dean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, I think, man, like all of our draft picks were, to me, perfect for the situation, perfect for the Eagles. Like Jordan Davis, he's Fletcher Cox's replacement. We all know that. I mean, the writing is on the wall.
Yeah,
Fletcher Cox is on a 1-year deal. So a Jordan Davis, a perfect opportunity to learn under one of the great at that position and then take over. Kobe Dean, we needed a linebacker. All offseason, linebacker was the problem. And we went out and got Hassan Reddick. But at the same time, you get a Buckus Award winner, a guy on one of the championship best team in college football, SEC, and now he's on your team because of a injury rumor that people said that he had a shoulder issue and he dropped. He could have easily been a top 15 pick. Because of that rumor, he dropped all the way to the third round. So he's going to have a chip on his shoulder, to play, every down, every game like it is his last. I love that pick. The underrated a draft was Cam Jurgens.
Okay.
He's a center. Jason Kelce handpicked him as his replacement. And now he's learning under Jason Kelce because I believe that Jason Kelce, this is his last year. So what a perfect opportunity to learn under him. And he's a versatile, offensive lineman. He could play other positions also. So once again, we getting these offensive linemen like Landon Dickerson from last year from Alabama. He won the best center award in college football because of back-to-back torn ACLs, back-to-back years. He dropped to the second round. He could easily been the first offensive lineman off the board last year. But we are building like these tough-nosed, these versatile players on the Philadelphia Eagles. So Kerryon Johnson, this dude, he shot through. He is bullying the number one offensive lineman that got drafted this past season, like running through him like he wasn't even there. So he's an underrated signing. So all these guys that the Philadelphia Eagles got, and that's why the fans are so happy. Like, oh my God, everybody that we drafted was perfect for this situation. And the last sign, the tight end out of I believe he came out of Nebraska. He played with Jalen Hurts at Alabama. He retired for a few years, and now he Jalen Hurts, and he loved playing with Jalen Hurts. So all these signings was made for the offense to help Jalen Hurts out and the defense to help the Philadelphia Eagles team out.
Okay. Well, again, the Eagles, it's one thing to have off-season hype. We've seen hype draft classes not work out before. We've seen them work out before too. So until we get to the gridiron, we just don't know. But
exactly.
Toon Lake Maine is asking, what do you have coming out on your channel, JC? When people subscribe to you, what can they expect?
Look, man, I used to be JC Eagles Talk, all right?
Yeah, I
used to talk, only about the Eagles and nothing else. But then I see that, hey, I am hurting my fan base as a whole. I'm hurting the sports, people out there that love talking sports, that love, doing play-by-play for other teams. So I try to do play-by-play, especially this year. I'm going to do a lot of play-by-play, Monday Night Football, regardless who's playing, Thursday Night Football, regardless who's playing. I'm going to be here because, like you said to start the show, I watch football. I live and breathe sports. You know what I mean? So I love sports. So I limit myself. So you can watch, like, if you subscribe to my channel, and I hope you do, I will talk about sports. And I'm not a straight-up biased Eagle fan. I'm not, like, I don't drink that Kool-Aid. I've been an Eagles fan for so long that I've seen us start 2-5 and make the playoffs, or we start 7-0 and miss it. So so I've been there, done that. So yes, we won a Super Bowl. I'm happy about it, but I'm over it. I'm ready to win another one. But look, this season is going to be like no other. The whole NFL as a whole. I can't wait to see the NFC West. Calling the play-by-plays for that. Just to see who comes out. The Bills. On the AFC East, how much better is Josh Allen going to win the MVP? It's so much storyline this year. Could Dak Prescott make wide receivers better this year because he doesn't have a Cooper, a Gallup? Could he make CeeDee Lamb and the young wide receiver and Tolbert that they drafted? Could he elevate these guys? It's so much storyline. Is the Giants going to be the bottom feeder in the NFC East? I don't know. It's wide open. So tune in. It's gonna be a long season.
I love it, and just even hearing you talk get me so hype. I missed the football season. I was blessed to see my team play as long as you possibly can.
Yes,
that's been a lot of fun. But I was telling JC before we came on live, I'm excited for preseason. Like preseason football. I'm excited about these games that will not matter, and they're about position battles. But JC, this has been a ton of fun, man. Thank you so much for coming on. And I can't stress anyone who's watching live now or on the replay, go subscribe to JC Sports Talk. He's a fantastic content creator and an even better guy. So JC, thank you for coming on and being part of MOOF episode 22 about the Eagles. And there's gonna be a bit of a lapse. I'm working with other content creators about episode 23, but stay tuned. We are, the goal is to get through all 32. That's the goal. But JC, any final words for our viewers?
Man, look, hey, I love working with you, man. I love your channel. Even when we're not on together, I still peep out your channel. I love what you're doing. I love the fact that you are growing your channel. And I love your personality, man. Just like, man, are you a Rams fan or Eagles fan? Like the brotherly love, you know what I mean? That brotherly love that, I love it, man. Thank you very much for having me on your channel. And once again, man, congrats on your Rams winning the Super Bowl. Long time coming. Matter of fact, that was one of my first Super Bowls that I watched way back in '99 against
the Tennessee Titans.
The Tennessee Titans, where Titans came up when Dyson, he reached out. He was this short. Oh, the Rams won. So that was by far, besides the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, one of the best Super Bowls I've watched because of the way the Rams came in, the greatest show on turf, and the Tennessee Titans that year. They wasn't even supposed to be there. That forward pass on the kickoff or the punt return, that forward pass.
Miracle, yeah.
They wasn't even supposed to be there, but they were the miracle, and I'm glad that was my first Super Bowl I ever watched, by the way. Was in '99 because of the whatever was going on in the East Coast. I didn't go to church. I think it was snow, whatever it is, and I stayed home and I watched that Super Bowl, and I'm like, wow, this was a good game. So, but hey, man, thank you, man. I love. Anytime you want to come on, man, just let me know, man. I'd be gladly to, work with you. And like I said, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on your Rams. So we got to get you on my channel. Let's talk about your Rams, the offseason moves, the loss that they had, OBJ, all that good stuff, man. So
absolutely. Well, everyone, we are going to end the episode here. Later on tonight, I am going to go live again. The Rams, it looks like they're going to release their Super Bowl rings tonight, and we can see what they look at. So we're going to do a live reaction to that. But JC, just stick around for a bit. We'll chat. And everyone tuning in, thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next episode of MOOF.